Hi, this is CJ and this is the CCSE Management Portal Lab. Before we talk about the Management Portal, I would like to show the topology. Uh, this is the topology for the CCSE lab, and I'm going to be following this topology to build many labs on this particular platform. And if you have watched my previous video on CCSA build out, then you will be able to figure out how I built this particular lab. So I'm going to run, if you know how to incorporate all these things in a team, please watch that video, CCSA build out, and then you'll be able to figure this out. So let me just go to the components. So we have a router. It's a Windows 2003 based. We have a GUI H, which is the GUI client or the console. We have a DMZ running on the headquarter. H stands for headquarter, B stands for branch. We have a PC in the branch. We have a branch DMZ. We have a headquarter security gateway, and we also have a second security gateway running on the headquarter. This is not yet installed. It's just like I have added the image, I have not installed it. This is going to be used in the later labs when we talk about the high availability active or active passive. This is the SMS server. This is the branch security gateway. So I have installed everything 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 images except this one. And the amount of memory that is used right now is 9.8 gigabits. I have 12 GBs of RAM on this particular computer, so you may want to have a computer which has got that much RAM, because otherwise there's going to be a lot of paging, right? So, and once I'm going to switch this on, this is going to shoot up even further. Okay, so let me go through the topology here. So as you can see that we have two firewalls. This is the headquarter, and I have named it as SG Corp, Security Gateway Corporate, Security Gateway Branch, and I have added 4 Ethernet modules at 0, 1, 2, and 4. I would say, I'm not sure. I know this could be 3. Hold on a second. This is going to be 3. I'm sorry about that. Okay, so you just add the third one. This is going to be sitting idle, because this is going to be used for the heartbeat between the two firewalls in either active or active passive mode, where it's going to be providing high availability, right? So the first one, the H0, is used for the WAN, H1 is for the LAN, H2 is for DMZ, and H3 is for the heartbeat, right? So just leave it like that, the heartbeat one. And for the headquarter, the network is 10.2.1.0. This guy gets, the H1 gets .1, so it's going to be 10.2.1.1. SMS server 10.2.1.101, 2.0.1, 2.0.3, and 2.0.2. The WAN is 172.10.1.0, and for the branch, the WAN is 172.20.1.0. The DMZ is 192.168.2.0, 192.168.3.0, and here the branch internal network is 10.2.2.0. Okay, once again, like in the Security Gateway Corp, the H0 is for the WAN, H1 is for the LAN, and H2 is for the DMZ. And the web is also hanging from the router, and it's got it is 220.1.0 network. All the interfaces of router gets the .2 IP address, and let me show you how I have configured the router. It's pretty simple. Do not try to incorporate GNS3 because that's going to only add complexity in the network. So don't do that. I mean, that's my recommendation. Okay, the static routes are, since we have 4 networks. Just see if we can put it out here. Okay, not a problem. H1. Okay, as you can see that we have 192.168.2.0, this network, and in order to be able for the router to reach this one, it has to go through this, right? So 172.10.1.1, 172.10.1.1. Similarly, for the internal network 10.2.1.0, it has to go through this and this particular interface. And for the branch, like on the right side, in order to be able to go to 30, it has to go through 172.168.20.11, and for the internal network, this one, it has to go once again through this network, through this interface, right? And let me just show you. I have added 3 LAN cards. Let's get a better view out here. Details, nope. Tiles, icons. What the heck? Anyways, not a problem. So branch network, B-WAN, H-WAN, and the web. Make sure that this maps exactly to this. So if you are tying it to the branch like this one, network adapter, H-WAN, the one without a number is the first one. This one. Okay. The second is second. Third is third. So web. Okay. Similarly, in the DHC, I have this is used Server 2003 R2 and have installed IE7. Disable the the enhanced security thing, because you don't want to do that, because it kind of you know, it blocks access to certain things, so you don't want to make use of that. Okay, and so this particular PC, HPC, or the headquarter PC, is just like additional PC I have added. It is not required, but you can add it, no problem with that. I can also suspend it if I want to. So we need branch PC, DMZ on the headquarter, GUI client, the router, the DC. I have installed the DC already, and the branch DMZ, the headquarter, first security gateway, and the branch security gateway. Okay. While you are installing the SMS server, make sure that you select couple of products. One is the security management. Second is the smart event, smart reporter suite, and the third one is the management portal. So three. You have to select 3 modules: security management, smart event and smart reporter suite, and management portal. Okay, and I have used the port 4434 in order to take the web console of this particular, for the SMS server as well as for the SG. Normally it's 443 by default, like the typical HTTP port number, but I have used 4434. So in order to be able to reach the SMS or the security gateway, you have to type https:// the IP address : 4434. Okay, so much so for the SMS. For the security gateway, you have to select 2 products. One is security gateway and the other one is the performance pack. Make sure you do that, because it's required for the future labs. If you are just building the lab for this particular management portal, then there is no need for you to install the performance pack. Otherwise, if you're going to be following this my videos for the high availability and other things, then you may want to add the performance pack as well. Right, so you want to add performance pack and the security gateway on this one and this one. Right, those are the very two important things that you have to keep in mind. Okay, so having discussed this thing, now we can talk about the management portal. So what exactly is the management portal? The management portal is a software blade which is running on the SMS, which allows the extension of the browser-based management, access to the whole outside group, like it could be the vendor, the technical support, or the auditor, while maintaining some kind of centralized management as to who's going to get the read access, who's going to get the write access. Right, the few things that we have to understand is that this particular management portal can be installed or can be integrated alone in the along with the SMS server. Like I've told you that you have to install 3 modules, or it can be installed separately. Right, this is one of the things. And the port that it is accessed on is 44, I believe 4433, and the third one is that who has to be granted access to it. So we're going to be creating a permission profile for that. Okay. All right. So without much further ado, let us jump to the configuration. All right. So let's go to the GUI client. Okay. Before we talk about this, if you have got decent experience on Checkpoint, and if you have fully understood the CCSA, you have to build the lab according to this particular topology. Your rule base should look like something like this. So once you have, initially you should have this corporate outgoing, corporate incoming, headquarter, and probably actually everything to do with the headquarter, right? You will be adding the branch rules later. You can add 2-3 things ahead of time. For example, the branch. Okay, you can add these three components. I'm not going to add DMC. I have added this thing, but it is not required. So you can add the networks like branch DMZ, branch internal, head DMZ, head internal, and the GUI client. You have to add it. It's like this. If you don't know how to add these clients, then you may want to watch the previous video, or you can just click on host and it's going to be added there. And the branch PC is this one. You have to add that as well. Now once you have added the security gateway of the headquarter and created all these rules, like one which this corporate outgoing, with this allows everything to go out of the security gateway, since we know that the management server itself is behind the security gateway, so we need to have this particular rule in place in order to be able to reach the branch security gateway and added in the SMS server, right? And the corporate incoming, now for this I have only allowed FTP access. So if any computer in the branch like this one wants to gain access to any computer in the internal network, then only FTP is allowed on that. For the headquarter DMZ, I have enabled HTTP, and proxy and FTP. So I have installed a FTP server on the first one, and on the internal, like the GUI client itself, and the HTMZ. Where is it? Yeah, this one. Okay, so install on this one and this one. All right. So once we have successfully added the branch PC, make sure that you have the default route in place on both the firewalls. So if the default routes are not in place, you will start blaming this particular router for being the culprit, right? So this is actually set up perfectly well. You set up all the IP addresses of the branch security gateway, and then you still try to add it, and then you try to add it when you figure out, okay, it's not getting added. What's the reason? So you have to define the default gateway or the default route, which is pointing towards this particular interface 172.20.21 and 2, and for this the default route is 172.10.1.2, right? So once the default route's in place, once the routing is in place, there should be no problem adding the branch security gateway in the management portal or the SMS server, right? As you can see, it is added here, right? Okay, so this is the basic rule. As you can see, if you want to copy it, you can do that. These I have given access to the security gateways. The GUI client has access the SMS itself and the branch. For the stealth, every other PC, every other node has no access to the firewall itself. So this is the stealth rule. The cleanup rule is there at the bottom. Corporate outgoing, headquarter internal has got access to everything. Branch outgoing, branch has got access to everything. and corporate incoming has got access on the incoming traffic from the branch, or for that matter anywhere, has got access to only the FTP server. Similarly for this and this. Okay, now we are going to talk about the management portal, or as you have told you that it's a web-based portal. It's a web-based access to the services, the VPN, almost all the rule base, everything like this NAT and all those things. I'm going to show you. So first of all, you have to double click on the SMS server to see if this is checked, the management portal. This only comes alive once we install that package during the installation, like I talked about, right? One of the 3 packages. So this is okay, and so is this. So make sure this is checked. And now we have to create a rule here, rule above. Give it a name, management portal rule, or portal access rule, whatever you want to name, portal rule. Okay, for this particular lab, I'm going to allow the branch PC to gain like, see, I can pull it from here. Yeah, I can allow the branch PC to see. Branch PC will have an access to the SMS, and in the service we have to type CP underscore SMAR 4433. Okay, is already added. Accept it, log it, and you may want to select security corp because this particular access is behind the firewall, right? It's behind the firewall of the headquarter. Save the policy and push the policy. If everything works fine, we shall be able to reach this. Just wait for the policy to be pushed successfully. This is the only time when one has to wait a lot of time before to carry out a task in checkpoint, the pushing of the policy. Okay, the policy has been pushed successfully. As you can see, the management portal access, the branch PC has access to the SMS, and this is the port. So let's go to the branch PC and see if it works. Let me open the browser and https://10.2.1.101.4433. If it's working fine, you should see this and this. Here we have to type the username and the password when we install the SMS. It's not for the splat. It's not for the slat, the admin. It's the other ID which we installed. The splat is different and checkpoint is different. Checkpoint is installed on top of splat. Okay, that is most important that you have to consider. I'm going to show you where this is coming from. The John, hold on. Now click on the user tab. This is the account. Double click it. It's John. This is the bad guy. He is the bad guy. He is the king of the hill, right? You cannot delete it from this. You can only remove it through the CLI, right? He's the bad guy, and he's the one which has got super admin access to the SMS server to carry out almost everything. Okay, so the password for once again 2.1.1. Super. So this is the management portal. As you can see, we have the objects, network objects, that all of them that we created, and the one which comes by default. See if we have created the branch PC. It says the IP address, the branch PC, when was it created, and we have the services in place. We've got lots and lots of services in Checkpoint, lots of them. We have the VPN community. We haven't defined any VPN community as of now, but these are the two by default. We have the internal users. At this point in time, we don't have one. Users groups, we don't have one right now. Time object, fetch time. These are the policies. These are the services themselves. Let's talk about the policies. Security policies. These are the rules that we created. See how good it looks. So this is a neat thing. IPS Blade is installed, but I'm not sure it's going to show us anything right this point in time, because we haven't done anything. Yeah, these are the default policies, but it's not going to generate any output because we haven't similarly for the application intelligence, we haven't configured anything, so it's not going to show us anything. But you got an idea, right? This is actually for the vendors and people, for the tech support, in order to be able to whom you want to give access to the management portal, because you don't want for them to log into your PC and then use the smart dashboard in order to gain access to, right? So what you can do, that since they're going to be taking the remote desktop of your computer, right, and you have allowed your computer to gain access to the management portal through this to the web, so they will be able to see all the rules in place. If however they want to gain access to more functionality, then you log into the smart dashboard. Otherwise, this is good enough. Okay, so the logs are, at this point in time there are no logs. There would be logs, right? Audit, I'm not sure. Okay, these are the internal things of the Checkpoint firewall. So now, as you can see, that John has got access to everything. He's got access to read, write stuff. Now we want to limit that access. In order to be able to do that, first click on the users tab, then right click the administrator tab box or the group, type the name. I would say MGMT admin. Okay, MGMT admin. Define the permission policy. This will actually gonna govern what kind of access this particular user account is gonna get. So give a name to it, MGMT. I'm gonna give the same name, management view. Permission profile. I am only going to give access to this and only read only, right? No write, only read only, and click on OK here. Management view is the name. Click on here. I am now going to create this admin group. Oh, you can give it any name, man. MGMT portal underscore group, and double click this. It's going to be selected. Click on OK. Right, if you double click on this, you will see that this particular group, it's not actually required, but you know, there's no harm. This is required. So now we go back to the branch PC. Hold on a second, I missed out one thing. Double click on this. Click on authentication. I'm sorry. Click on Checkpoint password and define a password. I've been using the same password for almost everything. because if I happen to keep, we are already password fatigue on the web. We have to learn so many passwords, man, so many passwords, and even then the website gets hacked and you lose all the passwords. So the best thing that you can do is keep, at least for the lab, is keep one password so that you do not forget it, even if you have to, do the lab, even if you do not do the lab for the next 5 days, because there is a tendency to forget the password. So click on OK here, click on save, and push the policy. Once again, the user accounts are stored on the SMS server itself, not on the security gateways. Okay, we have the management mgmt_admin. So go back here and once again bring that up, bring this up, mgmt_admin, password, server, and wait for the message. See, you have no read-write permission. Your login mode was changed to read only. So this particular guy has only got read only access, while John, the super admin, the bad guy, has got read-write access, so he can carry out certain tasks from that. Although the tasks are not that drastic or not deadly, but it can still do some kind of tasks, right? So click on OK here. So that's how you define the policy. Like, you create the permission profile, you double click on this. Let me just show it again. You define the username, create the permission profile, and define this. Okay, cancel. Let's get out of it. Close, close. Couple of services which require couple of steps rather, which can help you in terms of smart management portal is, one is the smart portal stop, to as the name suggests, it's going to stop the service. Okay, hold on a second. Smart, oh, you have to be in expert mode for this, sir. Expert. Smart portal stop and smart portal. If the service is stopped, then even if the rules are defined, everything is in order, this is not going to work. This can also be a good troubleshooting step in order to configure this thing. And that actually brings us to the end of this particular video. And one more thing I would like to tell you, that once you are through with a particular video and you want to close all these screens, it's a good idea to first close the GUI client, because you have this GUI client running in the background right now, or sorry, the smart dashboard. If you do not want to keep opening this thing, so you want to just leave it like this, first switch off this, because if you switch off the SMS or suspend the SMS server, then it's gonna time out, and then you have to log in again. Not a big deal, but you know, I don't feel like doing that thing all the time. I just want the rule base to show up every time I resume the Edge GUI, and the only way you can do that is, first you can just suspend this one, and then SMS, and then anything else. First of all, the GUI client. Alright, thanks a lot. Bye bye.